Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Limit of Adhesion at Watkins Glen. It is going to be an absolutely incredible time, round 2, and what can I say except GT3 racing around a legendary circuit. Welcome to the channel.
Yeah, welcome everyone. GT3, as said here, what can go wrong?
Well, 45 minutes of incredible action, and we are coming to you to have a huge amount of fun. Big field. My name is Stephen Kernick, and my co-commentator joining me in the box. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Ture Molarin, and commentator here for LoA. Second time in the box, actually.
Well, welcome. So let's take a look at the championship standings. Rick Barrow currently leading out, followed by Ray's Creighton in second place. Andrews, Phil Gavey in third. Stephen Greening in fourth. Oliver Walker in fifth place. He's having a bit of fun there. Then we go to our Club 1500, and that's Yanniman Pruis, followed by Chris Wright, Doug Herbert, Dan Rice, Manuel M. Cruz rounding in fifth place, and very, very close in the points. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the guys are going to be moving forward and what's going to be the game plan, especially around the circuit. So we're going to take a look at the driver penalties. Driver for 127 for causing a collision, 2 points on the driver's license. Oof, bit of a nasty knock there at Silverstone, and well, nothing much can say. Outbreak yourself and have a fun time.
Definitely not for everyone involved though.
Driver 41 with the unsafe rejoin, 1 point to the driver's license. A little bit of a sketch for the McLaren, but no harm, no foul. At least he was able to keep it going, but I'm sure Dom went and had a bit of a fright and needs to change the undies at this point. So let's go and take a look at the practice results, and what can we say of incredible pace. 142.6 around Watkins Glen, and that's done by David Lane with Rumble Bees, followed by Leon Harding and Sleepy Time Racing, only 0.3 of a second off. I mean, this is incredibly close, and I've got to say the action is going to be quite intense right across the board. What do you think?
Definitely, with only 1.5 seconds with between P1 and P18 here, rounding up the top split drivers. I can't see what can go wrong here.
We also got to check it out there that you've got two types of classes. You've got your essentially your pro class, and then you've got your Club 1-5 class, which are working on the iRacing points, all mixed into one big race. And what we saw is sometimes the Club 1500 points got mixed in with the pros, and there was some great battles going on all around the field. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do at Watkins Glen. Let's go through. David Lane in first place, followed by Leon Harding, Oliver Walker, Stephen Greening, True Mullen, Rick Barrow, Shane Obbert. Then you got Graham Bradsley, Andres Phil Gavey, Oliver Ettridge in 10th place. Moving on to our Club 1-5, we got Doug Herbert starting out in the first of the Club 1-5, followed by Daniel P&G Hill, Jeff Hawcox, Chris Foster. I'm waiting for our board to just update. And we got Stephen Cakebread, followed by Jake Weaver, Jason Weaver, Manuel Cruz, Andrew Edwards, and Mitchell Day. It's going to be incredible to see what the guys are going to be able to do here, and it's going to be about maintaining the tires, I think, and maintaining the fuel.
Yeah, it's really hard in front tires. This a lot of sweeping corners, fast ones at that, especially through the S's, keeping foot flat, trying to not work the tires that much, and then obviously with the one mandatory pit stop through fuel restrictions, trying to just refill as little as possible, making sure you stay out of the pit lane for as long as possible.
That's it. And you got Lee Harding. He's just backing off a little bit, just trying to scout it out, hoping to try and get a little bit of a jump. But Lane, who's more than happy to take that front spot, he's going to be powering away with his Audi. So let's see what the Lamborghini can do as we're getting ready to start and getting ready to go off the line, and the drivers are absolutely flooring it. Lane just off to a beautiful start, powering away from the grid and trying to make his way into turn 1. Some close battles though, side-by-side action, and sometimes 3 wide.
4 wide even, I
a little
think.
bit.
Contact as well there.
Jaco Foster getting a little bit of contact and hard on the brakes, and one of the BMs going hard into the wall further back. I think that might have been Stephen Kernick that went into the wall. Jaco Foster managing to keep it all on track, but I think it was a little bit of a worry point there. 4 wide into turn 1 doesn't work out all the time.
That's never a good sign, is it? Race is never won in turn 1, so...
That's it, and it looks like Stephen Greening outbraking himself as well, and one of the BMs further back as well, going outbraking themselves into the inner sweep. Very tricky. You're going off a long straight, you got to turn hard right, hard left. You can lose a lot of time, or you can skate the car right off the circuit. So a lot of the drivers having to work around there. Paul Herber trying to move his way up, and for Team Try Hard Racing, and he's getting hunted down by one of the BMs a little bit further back. So lying in 17th place, he's got a lot of hard work ahead of him. Chris Forrester currently 4th of his class, and he's having a huge amount of fun, really putting in the hard work, trying to move up through the field. And one of the very few McLarens that we actually see on the iRacing server, so nice to see it, and also with the beautiful Marlboro colors, you can't go wrong with it.
No, me personally, I really like Drain McLaren, but it has shown to be tricky for some of the races we've done here in the other way, and it's not really the car you usually see. We have Line and Molarin running it as well, have done previous seasons with great success, but it is not really a car we usually see.
Sam starts going and having a bit of fun trying to catch up. We also got Paul Herber, who's under a lot of pressure from behind, so some very, very close racing in the Club 1-5 Championship, and also trying to mix it in with the pros. So this is turning into quite a challenging time. Now they're running line and stern the whole way through. You're pushing each other quite hard. This is where it gets a little bit tricky in terms of maintaining braking distances, trying not to hurt the tires, and also try and move up through the positions. You've got Jake Weaver, who's also having a bit of fun. He's trying to cycle his way through in the Porsche, and getting hunted down by Yanniman Pruis.
Yeah, isn't more than a second between anyone as we get to a replay here of turn 1, is it?
Hard on the brakes, and Jaco Foster up on the inside on the grass, and 2 Try Hard Racing cars unfortunately getting a bit of a bash, and Stephen Kernick deciding to check out what the inner wall looks like.
Yeah, trying to enter the pit lane from the wrong direction there. Never a good idea.
Definitely. Yep, ran out of talent, ran out of skill, and that's all we got to say. Lee Harding going and blasting by and managing to make up position. Then we've got Rick Barrow, who's sticking it all together. Looks like one of the cars going flying off ahead of him, and gracefully coming up with a position. That was Stephen Greening, who decides to reverse it and does I was going to say a nice pirouette, but unfortunately taking a little bit of damage to the rear.
Could have been way worse though at the speed you're going there. Lucky didn't collect on one.
Adam Highfield of Rumblebees trying to make his way around the circuit, losing out a position, and seems to be getting chased down at this point, trying to go a little bit on the defensive. And then you go Hovingen, who is from Wizards Lift and Coast at the moment. They're definitely not lifting and coasting. It's flat out all the way, powering their way around with the mighty Mercedes, and the distinctive sound of that monstrous engine chasing you down is one heck of a frightening thing.
It's also one of those cars we usually don't see. Interesting choice, definitely. As we have Mark and Hill trying to fight it out.
Mark Innings trying to go a little bit on the defensive and holding back and really trying to push himself that little bit further. Jaco Foster going up on the outside and running on the curb, so definitely having a difficult time as well, trying to make up a few positions after taking a little bit of nose damage on the mighty BM. So we've seen the BM's BOP getting cut down a little bit, but seems to be quite a strong car that a lot of drivers are favoring.
It's definitely the easiest car to drive at any type of speed. If you wanna have a clean race, the BM is the car to go, even if it might not be the fastest car for everyone. It's relatively understeery, as we see someone hitting the wall in the background there. And Sam Stott.
Sam Stott getting massive damage and deciding to really get a hard smack there. Unfortunately, I think turning around there is going to be a bit of a difficult one. What's your thoughts?
Definitely, it's just such a tight spot of the track. Wait, there's the blind corner come leading up to it. As we see BMWs going at it. I don't think that's the last time we're going to see that.
Kellen Mitchell going and trying to battle it out, losing out of position, but really pushing hard as possible. And then you've got Ture, who's also having a lot of fun, really going side by side, decides to back out just before the corner. And you know, this is one of the things that you gotta be careful. You can go side by side, but man, you can take some big risks. And as we see, hoving and going and avoiding one of the Mercs and landing up on the grass, but definitely getting a penalty from that. Not going to be a happy champ with it, and very easy to lose the car. So one thing we've got to be very careful there. But lovely Pink Vikings of True is having a lot of fun as he's blasting around the circuit, really trying to keep it all together, trying to keep it neat, and just utilizing as much as the circuit as possible, sweeping right across Watkins Glen.
What is this?
Move on to one of our replays, and Oliver Walker trying to keep it all together, and whoa, Lamborghini going flying and reversing itself very close to the wall, just stopping in time, but definitely not where you want to go.
I think he even managed to drop it from the top 3, and then
Pruis unfortunately getting involved and becoming collateral damage. One of the Lamborghinis getting it all kinds of wrong. Jake Weaver going up on the inside and unfortunately turning one of the cars around, and looks like a lot of collateral damage there. Frightening stuff, very high speed, and
not a sheep crash, that one. It's not the stuff we want to see.
No, that's definitely not going to be a handy dandy go, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. Adam Hayfield having a lot of fun, currently lying in 10th place in the top split, trying to keep it all together. Jason Weaver, who is currently 5th in the Club 1-5. We've got Oliver Ettridge of Risky Racing Orange trying to keep it all together. He's 7th place of the top split. Kellen Mitchell, who has been on quite a brilliant run, unfortunately a little bit further down, currently in 13th place, trying to power his way around. Got Jason Weaver a little bit further back, 5th in class, but it looks like he may have a little bit of a problem, but he manages to get 4th and has to try and power his way through. He's getting around the mighty Ford GT. Shane Albert going a little bit sideways and definitely trying to keep it all together, and it seems like the mid-engines are having a bit of a difficult time as the balance of the cars is a little bit off. As you can see, a lot of the Audis, Ferraris and Porsches are getting a bit sideways, including your Lamborghinis.
It definitely is one of those tracks where the front end wanna grip a bit more than you think, and rear end wanna slide out, and especially with all the long straights, all the downforce you have to trim off. It's no easy feat to get the aero balance of these cars right around here.
Adam Hayfield trying to keep it all together. He's pushing hard. He's currently lying in 10th place, but is under some massive strain at this point and utilizing all the circuit. Now you're getting a little bit further into the race. You're going 9 minutes into the race. Tires are starting to feel it. This is where your strategy starts coming in. Pit strategy, fuel strategy, your tires, your fuel. What are you going to do? What goes through the driver's mind at this point of how can they maximize the effort to get through?
They have definitely been looking at whoever they're racing now and trying to see, like, is it worth it for me to lift off, try and save some time to the cars behind, see if I can save that one extra lap of fuel, make sure I go a bit longer, or should I just go chase the car ahead? I know I can. It's such a hard choice now if you want to fight the cars ahead and maybe lose out on a few positions at the end with the worst tires, a longer pit stop. It's a really thin line you have to walk here.
Shane Albert trying to keep it all together as he's battling his way, trying to hold the outside line and just keep in the tow. and it's going to be a bit of a difficult one for the ARSE Racing. I think we all know what that is currently spelling. But Shane Albert trying to keep himself going. Mark Innings in third of his class, and he is really pushing hard. Wants to try climb that ladder even higher, and we've seen him getting closer and closer every single time.
Yeah, like, it is such an easy track just to actually follow on this one, but if the cars around you run a different downforce level, you'll just lose them on certain parts of the track, and it can be hard to get that back.
Kalen Mitra going and trying to get a bit of a run up as he's looking to move up against Hayfield, and you can see buzz off all over the bumper, and well, definitely Mitra is not doing that, keeping hard in the toe, trying to eye himself out. He's looking towards maybe the inside of the infield. Will he be able to go late on the brakes? Tries to really sink it in, side by side, a little bit of contact, and they both go round and drifting. Are they able to keep it in check? Oh, definitely not exactly what they wanted at that point. Adam is not going to be a happy camper, and I don't think anyone's come off as a happy camper with that.
No, absolutely not. That's just such an unfortunate mistake through this early on in the race. There's still 35 minutes to go, and just getting taken out like that is never a fun thing.
Michael Messenger trying to also move up. He's currently doing everything he can. Dan Rice of TRH SimSport having the door open up on him and saying thank you very much, I will go straight through, putting the power on. And all day is having a fun time in the Ford GT. Beautiful to see it, and I've got to say, very rare car to find that's on. I believe it's quite a fast car if you set it up right, but if you don't get it right, well, you're holding on to something that the steering wheel is connected to the rear wheels instead of the front.
There's some insane people that just know how to drive that car, and then there are the people that just want to drive the car because it's the Ford. They might not be the fastest, but they really enjoy it.
Ture going and riding out, currently in third place, having a ton of fun. The Pink Vikings colours standing out beautifully around the circuit. I've got to say, quite an eye-popping colour, and at this point is having a ton of fun, pushing right up at the top of the field and trying to keep it all together. Definitely riding the curbs hard, and I think the tyres may start to feel it a little bit later on.
Yeah, the tyres at the end of a 45-minute race like this start to really drop off, and you can notice, especially after refilling the fuel, it's not fun for the first few laps trying to readjust running a heavy car.
Looks like one of the BMs unfortunately landing off in the dirt, and that's Oliver. And I've heard of, you know, getting rid of some weight, but that's taking it to the next extreme. Gets a little bit sideways, and oh, massive impact into the wall, and definitely got a new way of cooling that engine, and unfortunately the rear taking a bit of a impact as well. Jaco Foster trying to keep it all together as well. He's battling out with Paul Gerber, the two South Africans who were duking it out there. Mitchell Day in the Ford GT having a ton of fun, powering his way around the circuit, and definitely knows how to throw that car around. And there we go, passing one of our broken BMs. That's Ettridge, who's just trying to limp the car back to pits. My heart goes out to him. Your lap times feel like you're not using a stopwatch anymore, you're using a calendar to get to the end.
Definitely. As
Rick Barrow going sideways, side-by-side action.
Gotta see the straight line speed of that BM just powering through here. It's definitely one of the faster cars down the straight, and you can see it's just easing past.
A little bit later on the brakes, sideways, little bit of contact, but still managed to keep it going. Rick going and really pushing hard to try and keep it all together. So definitely a bit of fun going on between the Audi and the BM, and Phil Goby is having a ton of fun, but a bit of a train behind them as well, so can't lift off at all. Shane Albert's part of that chain, and he's chasing them down. So definitely this is turning into quite a battle. Well, it's not a 2-horse battle. You're working with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars in this train who are all slugging it out for position.
Yeah, this is how close the grid is, and has been relatively clean this far. Had some few contacts, nothing too bad.
Dom Parker trying to keep it all together of Wizards Lift and Coast, and you can see sideways action. They're just ahead of him. So as the drivers start to battle with the cars, as they're getting a little bit sideways action and a bit of Fast and Furious action. Paul Gerber getting overtaken, trying to do a little bit of a cutback, and let's see if he'll be able to do it. I don't think he would have managed. Unfortunately, didn't quite have the pace out of that final corner. You can lose so much time in the braking zones at this circuit because it's very, how can I put it, it's very disorientating. You're going over the hill, go down, and suddenly the corner's right there. You push the brake a little bit harder, you lose that just too much speed. It's very deceptive in how much you actually need to brake. What's your thoughts on this?
Yes, the elevation changes of this track makes it really hard to understand the braking zones, and you can't brake pretty much at the same place anywhere. The 100-meter board doesn't mean that much around here. Uphill, downhill, you have to adapt the braking for every corner and hope it sticks.
Stephen Cakebread going and having a bit of fun and really pushing as hard as he can in the mighty Ferrari, looking maybe to go up on the inside. You got Oliver Ettridge, who's back out. Seems like he managed to get the car fixed. New BM put together, chucked, all sorted out, and Risky Racing now pushing hard. But you can be sure a little bit of gremlin damage sitting on that car. Daniel PG Hill of the back markers also having a bit of fun. Definitely not a back marker at the moment, second in class, and really giving himself a good run.
Yeah, it looked to have really fun down all classes here. Close battles all throughout. And everyone has been doing really well to get that wall. But
Paul Gerber getting a little bit of sideways action, putting it in the wall, unfortunately losing out. Jaco Foster of Team Heap together, the South African team, going and duking it out, also powering his way around the circuit. And Ray's Craigton, we've got to say, Risky Racing Orange has been really on a roll after round 1, getting into round 2. They've been quite excited. They've been going in, they're quite active in the Discord channel in terms of wanting to help guys and also try and spur on the confidence. And it's quite fantastic to see them duking out with Hoving in as well, who's just really drawing him in. Take a look at the slipstream, and my heavens, definitely not lifting and coasting, flat out all the way, and just easily takes the position.
yeah, absolutely. We have seen the Risky Racing guys being top of the field now for last season when they joined, joining halfway through and still almost being there to fight for the championship wins. Insanely fast, all of them. But we've seen some unfortunate mistakes that we hope we shall not see any more of.
That's it. Unfortunately, motor racing sometimes is clean, sometimes gets a little bit, well, fun, if we can put it that way. Race Craigton still pushing as hard as he can, looking to try and retake the position. Doesn't have the power though, falls back into the slipstream, has to pull himself along a little bit further. Rick Barrow though of Sleepy Time Racing, definitely not sleeping now, and is hard onto the back, trying to catch up to Ture, and you can see how close he's running, trying to push it a little bit further, looks to go on the outside. Ture goes in on the defense, and my heavens, side by side, really powering their way through. Ooh, yeah. It's getting extremely close with the two.
The confidence of all of these drivers being able to stay this close with everyone and not make mistakes, just being millimeters away and still believing that other guy is not going to hit you.
And that's it. Doug Herber now also trying to move his way. Team Tryhard Racing all the way from South Africa coming in for their season of battle. Team that's usually known with the Assetto Corsa now trying their hand at iRacing and well, learning that the GT3 cars behave a little bit differently.
Yes.
Rick Barrow going and having a bit of fun as well, trying to push himself a little bit further. And Rick has been one of those always sitting at the front, pushing the next level of the drivers and himself. So it's nice to see the limits being tested. Stephen Catebread, who's a privateer team, duking out with Hill just ahead of him, and you can see just backs off a little bit, trying to keep it all together, and Hill goes flying off the circuit, outbrakes himself, and Catebread is saying thank you very much, I'll take that, and kindly moves on. Graham Bradley going and duking it out. He's stuck between Jan Pruis and Jaco Foster, the two teammates. So definitely this is one that you don't want to be in, when you're stuck between two teammates duking it out, and you're kind of not part of this communication at all.
No, his toss split driver here, having had an unfortunate mistake or a tap or something, being stuck down with middle of two teammates. It's not a good one. Teammates are always going to be the ones battling each other the most, the hardest. You don't want to be in between, interfering that kind of battle.
You can see Jaco Foster still trying to keep that car in check. Definitely very, very loose. Not having a fun time. Rick Barrow pulling into the pits now for his pit stop.
Really
Andrew's
early
full
undercut.
gap. And Andrew's also having a bit of fun there. Also, Stephen Greening now getting a big tow, trying to get past one of the BMs. Side-by-side action. He's going on the inside of Stephen Kernick, able to easily get by and walk his way past. So, well done on there. Very, very clean overtake.
Yeah, it's a total different game with two different classes here. Having to make sure you overtake everyone safely. Not to rush it because you're lower class, or not making sure that you know what everyone's gonna do. Makes the undercut way more interesting as well.
Now I've got to ask a question in terms of, you've got these two classes duking it out. You're fighting for your main position, as we see Stephen Kernick and Jan Pruis coming into the pits. They getting themselves sorted out. Jaco Foster still charging out, doing an early pit stop ahead of his teammates. But you've got these two classes duking it out. They're going for an overall position, and you've got to consider they're going for their class position as well. What's going to be the idea? How you got to try and calm yourself down and say, well, there's a longer race, there's a bigger race than just this one. It's an entire series to go for.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, if you were to lose a race here, you were to score 0 points because you try and overtake someone in a stupid position that maybe not isn't even in your race, you're gonna just lose so many positions, so many points in the overall championship. Losing the one position this race is way better than dropping the 50 odd points you might have gotten if you didn't go for that move.
That's it. It's always a very difficult one to balance up, and you know, all the drivers have to be considerate of one another and say, right, there's a bigger race, we got to really keep this together. And as we can see, a little bit of a battle going on here. You got Ture going up on the inside and getting past Jan Pruis, and Jan just going right off the road. He's deciding not to get involved and letting the cars absolutely go. Graham Bradley all over the back, one of the BMs, and having a bit of fun there. That's Jaco Foster. They've been slugging out for quite some time and really pushing each other to the limit. Bradley going up on the inside, hard on the brakes. Will he be able to make it stick? Jaco Foster has no answer to that, and Bradley getting a much better drive out of turn one and carries it all the way through. Jaco Foster trying to keep in the tow and just slipstream the whole way, getting a little bit closer. Will he be able to make this happen? It's going to be close.
The tow is so strong down the straight, you want to be behind going onto it. As we see him go through the chicane first, even though Bradley got such a good run out to turn one.
Very, very close, and narrow escape, if I can say so. Both drivers really pushing. They're giving each other just enough, but not a millimeter more, if I can say.
Definitely, as we see Barrow and is it Messenger battling it out? I think both of them will stop. fighting for an overall position, trying to work their undercut as well. If they battle too much, they're not gonna get undercut, and everything was a waste.
That's a little bit of lights flashing saying, hey buddy, I'm around you, let's keep going. So definitely the fun favorite of just letting the guys know we're around, we're having a good race, let's keep it clean, let's keep it all together. Barrow and Messenger still really battling it out. And there we got Albert coming out and getting himself right in between them as well. So Messenger really trying to push incredibly hard in the Risky Racing blue BMW, and definitely having a fun time challenging to move up through. We're talking about the slipstream, as you can see, really powering his way through, gets up on the inside, late on the brakes, and sneaks it in. But Albert's also trying to try his hand there, getting a little bit sneaky and a little bit confident as well.
Trying to follow someone through there is a bit scary, to be honest. You don't know what the other car is gonna do, and if he decides to just fall in line behind the first car, you have made a mistake. There's no getting out of that one.
Graham Bradley also pushing his way forward. He's still chasing down Jaco Foster, so going back and forth between these two and really having a bit of fun between the two. So QRS and Team Heap together having a bit of fun there. Risky Racing Orange, Ray's Craigton also having a bit of fun in his BMW, trying to push his way forward. The 445 BM really having a good time here at Watkins Glen. Seems like they've got the car nailed down, but getting chased down by the Mercedes, and it's got to be a bit cautious of that.
It's still a long race to go. We're only done just about halfway through now, 20 minutes left, so still a lot that can happen. You just gotta make sure your car is there at the end. As we see someone brown having to tow back to the pit lane, it's not what you want to happen.
No, unfortunately, we seem to that seems to be the death corner at this point. Has taken out 3-4 cars so far in the race. Guys just getting a little bit sideways, catching the paint, and well, discovering that the wall doesn't quite move when you get a bit close to it. Marshal post there, definitely busy with the yellow flag. As we jump on Rick Barrow, currently in 9th place. He's really pushing hard, braking very, very early, just lifting off and allowing, looks like Messenger to go through, but still feeling the pressure. Graham Bradley of QRS chasing down Jaco Foster. These guys are battling 15th and 14th, and they are absolutely slugging it out between each other. Jaco Foster trying to go on the defensive, goes across the nose of Bradley, trying to slow him down, but Bradley is not shaken. He's absolutely pushing as hard as he can. Michael Messenger going out very, very wide, and now has got a problem as the mighty Audi is up on the inside. Will he be able to? And it looks like we've got Albert as well, who's deciding he wants to duck through as well. They're also fighting in class, and that is 8th, 9th and 10th all duking it out. And it is turning into quite a race between the three of them.
Yeah, they're all three boxed right now, so this is slowing them down so a lot with the guys in front just being able to extend the gap, driving in clean traffic, not really having any battles that we can see right now, so it's not helping anyone.
Jaco Foster going and getting by one of the backmarkers, unfortunately deciding that the wall is not as soft as he thought, trying to get out the way, so unfortunately just trying to give him space and picking up a little bit of damage. You can see how close Jaco Foster and Bradley are going close to that pit lane to try and get by. It is a difficult situation to try and battle their way out.
Yeah, pit lane.
Michael Messenger still...
excuse me.
Yep. No, you go ahead.
Yeah. No, the pit lane with the apex, like lane on the apex, slow car going through there, does not help when someone wanna take that apex, battling for position. We're lucky that we haven't seen any incidents there yet. I must say.
I think all the drivers have been practicing how to avoid it, and we've got some very, very late pit stops coming in, getting close to 30 minutes, and guys are pulling into the pit. So going for a late stop. Let's see how that's going to work out as we jump back. Rick Barrow still having a great bit of fun trying to battle his way around. Oliver Walker in 6th place now, pulling into the pits. And there's Rick Barrow in 8th now, chasing down, trying to make up a bit of time. Might be able to make up a position. Looks like he may be close enough to make it stick.
Yeah, he was fighting with a pack for P3 before the pit lane, and I guess he want to be up there. Just see how many cars he can gain through the pit lane here, and hope it's enough to keep him in the battle.
Albert's going a little bit wide and catching the wall, just getting some new blue paint on the car. And as you can see, Stephen Capebread coming into the pits as well. He was lying in 2nd place in class, and Shane Albert moving up to 8th place. So he's going to be quite happy. Michael Messenger going and taking 6th place. And it seems like the pit stop strategy has worked in his favor. Unfortunately, for others falling a little bit further down. Late pit stops definitely not coming into play and helping out there.
I think we had Line and Harding that was fighting for P1 and 2, still out on track. P4 and 5 now, so it's Molarin, Fuelgrave and Parker that has not boxed yet. Putting Messenger up into P4 after cars has boxed.
That's going to be quite a accomplishment, and I think the guys are going to be kicking themselves a little bit. And well, if they could have a conversation between each other in the car, they're saying, guys, let's stop fighting with each other and try and get a little bit of spacing between the rest of the field and us, because I think we're on the hiding of note, and we've got True Molarin coming into the pits, and Fulgrove going and flying by in the black-pink Ferrari, trying to make up a bit of positions as well. So seeing True come in, and now unfortunately dropping down. One of the cars extremely slow. Oh, bit of contact, and that's Phil Gabe going into the wall, and suspension failure of note. He's not going to be a happy camper with that. Oh,
especially not after winning painful. Last season's championship. Just hoping to fight for the win, overall win this year as well.
It's Dan Rice coming by in the Ferrari, and a bit of contact with the Ford GT, and you can see broken, stuck in the middle of the circuit, and just trying to move off, and unfortunately getting a little bit of contact there. So Dan Rice, not a happy camper. If we jump on board, Andreas trying to get by, nowhere to go, and unfortunately that has ticketed his race. Definitely, I think the brake pedal is getting a bit of feelings put through it at this point. David Lane, though, of Rumble Bees, going very, very slow, and seems to have a problem. I wonder if he ran out of juice. Let's jump on board.
Yeah, the car is cutting out. Even after the pit stop, there is no fuel in the car.
The dreaded sound of splutter, splutter, and trying to hold that rag against the carbs. Definitely didn't work. Paul Herber going around and round into the wall with one of the Ferraris as well, chasing down Stephen Kernick. So definitely a bit of a rough race coming on here with that one corner, but running out of fuel. Noddy Badge Award, what would you say?
Oh, he can't have paid his pit crew enough. That's all I can say about this one. They can't be happy with their working situation, decided to ruin the driver's race. Seen it happen before. It's not the first time.
I think we've all experienced that point where we start to lean on which way to try and make the gauge move at this point. You go through the corner fast enough to make the gauge move. Digital gauges, though, doesn't quite work the same. Michael Messenger up to 3rd place and having a bit of fun trying to keep it all together, really trying to power his way through. Dom Parker in 2nd, who is just trying to get out ahead. Will he make it, though? Just managing to get by, but hasn't got the same pace as the rest of the field, so he's going to have to go on the defensive. So Parker is going to have 2 BMWs chasing him down. Michael Messenger currently in the tow of the Ferrari, also trying to go defensive to the middle of the circuit. Can he make it stick? But getting boxed in. What a move. Michael Messenger unfortunately getting boxed in. Dom Parker trying to keep it all together. Very, very close action, and looks like one of the Lamborghinis also deciding that he's done with taking the corner. He's going to keep going straight, so getting a bit of a slowdown penalty there as well.
might definitely be the way to go if you see a fast pack coming up on you. You don't want to be in the middle of the chicane with someone doing it twice your speed, so it's not gonna end well.
Ture having a lot of fun up on the inside, really putting the power down, and gotta say that BMW looks absolutely stunning. One of the cars that stand out quite a bit in the field, and the Pink Vikings can be very, very happy with that. And having a bit of fun, running in 4th place, going on the defensive and duking it out for 3rd in class and 3rd overall. So definitely something that you can put a feather in the cap to when you take an overall. Running a little bit further up. Rick Barrow though chasing down, getting a bit sideways, and Ture also just going and getting a bit sideways. So traction control down. We were talking about the tires starting to drop off. I think this is where it starts finding the edge of the cliff.
Yes, now that with the full fuel tank going and bit colder tires out pit stop, and the tires have been pushed so hard now for 35 minutes straight, battling it out, bound to start falling off, aren't they?
Oliver Walker trying to go up and have a bit of fun as well. Side-by-side action between the two. And gotta say, a bit of fun with the Italian Stallions. You've got the Lamborghini duking out with a Ferrari and having a bit of fun out there on the circuit. The mid-engines really going and showing what they can do. A little bit fast, a little bit loose, and definitely trying to keep it in track. Now, from your perspective, you've been racing TCR, Formula 3 and the GT class. What is the sort of, what goes through your head at this point? It's getting late into the race, you've just gone for your pit stops, and now you're on the hard push. And got to consider tires as well. What goes through the mind of the drivers?
Oh, at this point, it's pretty much all about what position can I get from this. It's 7-8 minutes left of the race. How do I maximize what I can do? What can I do? How many cars will I have to get by? What cars can I get by? It's just all about making sure now that you get to the end as far up as possible.
Definitely a tricky one, and gotta say, from your experience, you're having to try and figure things out depending on the classes. And jumping into the GT3s being the heaviest class out of the TCRs and the Formula 3s, they definitely have a little bit more impact here at Watkins Glen. But guys having a huge amount of fun. Rick Barrow all over the back of the Pink Vikings BMW. You can see how close he's running, keeping in the tow and really pulling himself along, trying to get that little bit further up. Really, really impressive racing between these two, slugging it out still right through the race, and a little bit wide. And Rick Barrow tried capitalizing on it, but unfortunately just too far back. And it's definitely one of the most frustrating things I can believe. You get nice and close to the cars and just a little bit too far back, and race is over.
Yeah, we've seen these cars go bumper to bumper now for 38 minutes, haven't we? Since lap 1 pretty much. And all the cars around as well have been really close, having good race. I must say, I think everyone here is happy.
Gotta say, incredibly impressive, and well done to the drivers in the top split, really keeping it together. Ray's Creighton also having a bit of fun. He's duking it out in that 445 BMW up on the inside, trying to make his way around, and having a bit of fun with Abbott, who's pushing hard in the Ferrari. We've seen him climb up and down that ladder, and hopefully trying to maximize the positions. You got True Molarin, who's really pushing hard, currently in 4th place, staring at 3rd, just ahead of him. And Barrow going and looking deep on the inside, decides that he's rather going to keep in the tow. At this point, True's looking in the mirrors, trying to figure out where's this going to go, how is he going to be able to duke it out. I mean, you've been in the situation of one of the Ferraris, and that looks to be one of the Team Tryhard Racing Ferraris going and meeting the death corner once again. But you've been at this point, you've had guys in your mirrors chasing you down, really keeping the focus on how do you knock them out from your mirrors. How do you decide, I don't want you in my mirrors anymore, I'm going to concentrate on what's in front of me and keep going, considering you have this car going left to right all over you?
At this point, it's honestly really easy. You can see the car in front, it's only a few tenths. So easy to focus on that car, making sure that like the car behind isn't a part of my race right now. I am ahead, I'm the fastest car, even if it might not look like it. I have to try and chase down the car ahead. Just see when can this car behind make a move, and if he can't, he's not there.
Ture really keeping a hard line, trying to battle his way through. You can see utilizing the circuit left to right, trying to hold back the likes of the Audi and also move up a position as well. Definitely a fight that he doesn't want to be in at this point. He's going very, very defensive and actually slowing down a little bit. And this is where it gets a bit tricky for them. It's running to the end stages of the race and you're losing out a bit of time. Dom Parker having a bit of fun of the Wizards of Lift and Coast, currently in second place in class and under a bit of pressure as well, as he's trying to move up and getting chased down by one of the BMs. And that is... Oh, we go to a replay to see what's going on. That's David Lane of Rumblebees, who did very, very well. And oh boy, Naughty Badge Award goes to another car that has run out of juice. Started in second place, and here's the dreaded sound.
Running out of fuel 2 times in one race, that is not something you want to do now, is it?
No, and I think at this point, oh man, the heart goes out to any situation when you start hearing that. Rick Barrow chasing down, and Michael Messenger also having a bit of fun trying to make his way around. Going up on the inside, can he make it stick? Messenger really pushing hard. Dom trying to keep it side by side, but that BM just has the straight line speed. Dom tries to look on the inside, goes over the curbs, hopping over like no tomorrow, and just not able to get by. But that's allowed Ture to get a little bit closer as he's starting to make up a bit of ground. Oh, big contact. Shane Albert going backwards, and unfortunately collateral damage at this point.
Yeah, it was 3 cars involved in that. I think Steven got a little tap as well, by the sounds of it, and car did not look happy.
Sam Scott going, trying to make his way around, and Albert getting a little bit of a nudge, going backwards, and Sam getting all of it and deciding to do a barrel roll as well, and his teammate looking to get a little bit of a touch as well. So, yikes. Oh, Rick Barrow going sideways, tires definitely falling off, and close call. Oliver Walker just managing to skate by at that point and definitely changed his undies. Marker Innings of the lefties having a bit of fun. He's currently leading his class and powering his way through and quite up through the field. 11th place, yet he's in the Club 1-5 class. So definitely you can be proud of that.
He's just done a really good race here. We've seen some of the top split guys having unfortunate incidents, with a few of them just gotten taken out in the chicane. But Mark has still shown some incredible pace, being in between these guys, even having the shot at being there, taking the opportunity. Definitely worth the first place here.
Absolutely. Michael Messenger going and powering his way through, trying to keep it all together. And you can be sure if our chaps are suffering from fuel shortages, you can be sure that all the drivers are currently got a disco on their dashes telling them, listen, you're running out of fuel. And the crew chief's going and saying, you've got about 2-3 laps left in the tank, so keep it together. As we've got Jason Weaver chasing down Stephen Kernick, trying to make his way past. Definitely Weaver a little bit faster, trying to make up a bit of ground. Stephen Kernick going a little bit defensive, trying to hold him back, but the mighty Ferrari definitely has the pace out of the corners.
It's definitely the faster car in the corners against the BM, but they work really well over a lap. Pretty similar in pace, down to whoever's fastest.
Hoving and having a bit of fun there as well, trying to get side by side and really battling it out, just managing to eke by the mighty Mercedes. It's been the mighty Mercedes has been around longer than a lot of the GT3 cars in the iRacing server, and it's nice to see that still getting some love. Take a look, Jason Weaver trying to go on the outside, does a little bit of a cutback, gets a little bit sideways, but able to save it well, flippin' done, that's all I can say. And really impressive to keep it in check there.
This should be going on to white flag lap, and cars this close, it can only mean good racing from here on out.
So this is make or break it for all the drivers hovering and trying to keep it all together. Goes a little bit slow, and the Audi of Barrow having to go very, very wide to avoid him. You can see Rick trying to do everything he can to just get right onto the back of him. You can see looking left and right, and you can be sure getting a little bit of dirty air at this point, trying to figure out how can he maximize his downforce into the right-hander, trying to keep it together, a little bit sideways action. He's able to get the drive hovering and just deciding he's going to go right over the curbs and absolutely send it. So that Mercedes really giving it, but looks like he's got a bit of damage on the nose.
Yeah.
So Hoving's got a bit of damage on that nose.
Yeah, some floor damage from hitting those curves. Never a good thing. Can definitely happen. But it's the shortest line, so definitely lost lap.
Kellen Mitchell also having a bit of fun trying to keep it in check. He's trying to go and make up a bit of ground as well. We saw him up and down the field, currently lying in 10th place, so he's going to be happy. Lee Harding, though, taking that first place across the line, started in second. Yellowman Perez taking fourth in his class. Jeff Hancock's in fifth. Jake Weaver in 17th, so absolutely fantastic. So what a race up and down the field. The guys really worked hard, and what an incredible race.
Definitely, we had some really good pack racing here. Of course, staying really close for most of the race, and then just pushing a little bit too hard, cooking the tires, making mistakes late on, cost them a lot.
Absolutely incredible racing, and I think you can take us through of the positions. So it's got Mark Innings coming across the line. Do apologise, Mark, to take first place in his class, and Stephen Cakebread second in his class. So really well done to the drivers, putting in the extra bit of work there.
Yeah, it's really fun to see the Club 1500 drivers being able to fight for the win as well. And just having the pace to even be fighting or getting close to top split guys.
That's it, and we go through a little bit of shots of some of the chaos and a little bit of showing off, as you may. Absolutely well done to our drivers. Lee Harding taking first place, Mitchell Messenger in second, Don Parker third, Tro Mulling in fourth place, Oliver Walker in fifth, Raystan Craigton in sixth, seventh place Rick Barrow, Mergen Hoving in eighth, ninth place is Stephen Greening, Mark Innings taking 10th, and first in class actually, Kellen Mitchell in 11th place and 10th in his class. Stephen Cakebread going and taking second in class, Mitchell Day third in class, Yanaman Perez fourth along with Stephen Kernick. Our team heaped together following right behind his teammate Jason Weaver, Chris Forrester, Ash Cooper, Daniel PG Hill, Andrew Edwards, Joe Barlow, Doe Herber and Sam Scott, who had quite an unfortunate crash 3 laps down. So what a race it has been. Watkins Glen has really shown off to the drivers what they can do, and can't wait to see what round 3 is going to be like, and what an incredible time it is to be in the iRacing GT3 scene as we all go and make our way through. But taking a look at the points, Rick Barrow going and extending his lead, going and moving into that first place and standing high on the top. Race Crankton in second place, Mitchell Messenger moving up into third place, Oliver Walker, Lee Harding, Stephen Greening, Dom Parker, Andreas Fulgrave, Oliver Ettridge and Tro Mulling into that 10th place. So absolutely fantastic to see a little bit of movement going on in the championship for our top split GT3s.
Yeah, absolutely. This early on, everyone still has a chance of fighting for the title there. You can see some really aggressive battles coming up, especially after seeing how close this one was.
And we take a look at our Club 1500. Yanaman Perez currently in first place, more than happy to extend his lead. Stephen Cakebread in second place. Stephen Kernick going and lying in third place. Mark Innings, Mitchell Day, Doe Herbert, Jason Weaver, Chris Wright in 8th place. Dan Rice in 9th. Mitchell M. Cruz in 10th place. So really great to see the guys really putting the effort, and also to see that right across the entire world, all racing to have a bit of fun, whether you're in UK, South Africa, or even further. It is always fantastic to see.
Yeah, it's a really inclusive community. People, International League, as the founders now say, they'd never think this is going to go this far. And happy to race with every one of them.
Well, top split team, Sleepy Team Racing currently in first place, followed by Risky Racing Blue, Risky Racing Orange going and battling it out in third place. Blackpink in fourth, Wizards Lifting Coast in fifth, Pink Vikings in sixth, seventh is Team Tryhard Racing, eighth Cannon Fodder, ninth is QRS, and 10th place is Rumblebee, followed by Team Heap Together in 11th. Going to our Club 1500 teams, a little bit smaller, but still quite a fight. Team Heap Together currently in first place, followed by the Lefties, McLaren, Team Tryhard Racing in fourth, followed by Team Ferret. Team Ferret, sorry. Sixth place is TRH Sim Sport. Seventh is the Backmarkers. Eighth, ARSE Racing. Ninth, Wizards of Lifting Coast. And 10th place, Captain Slow Racing. Definitely not too slow, but not getting the points on the board.
No, still 6 races to go. Never know what's gonna happen.
Well, it's been absolutely fantastic going and being in the commentary box with you, and thank you once again for being with me, and always fantastic to do it with you, and can't wait to see what's coming out next and who is going to stand at the top of the line come round 3. Make sure you go and take a look at our Facebook page, subscribe to our channel, go and even take a look at our Discord. If you want to join all the fun, go and take a look at www.limitofadhesion.com. What a big thank you for joining me in the box, and any last words from your side?
No, thank you yourself. It's great time being here. Good to hear a professional do this. Need to do that as well. Lovely race, as said, and hope we'll see it carry through to race 3.
That's it. Round 3's coming up, and ladies and gentlemen, we can't wait to see you. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for going and taking a look at the limits of Adhesion Racing. We've got Formula 3, we got TCR, we got GT3. Where else do you want to be except here at Limit of Adhesion?